All right, so we are on to week 2 of this block. Week 1 overall went really well. Nothing really crazy on the weights at this point, but it was still quite challenging, just I think because it's been a little while since I've trained seriously and consistently, so I'm feeling a little bit weak, but I am really happy with my movement quality, positions, stuff like that. So definitely things to work on, but I feel okay with where we're starting, even if it's not like anything heavy right now. We are on to day 3 of week 2. So last week we took a look at day 1 together. This week I had to skip filming day 2 because I was at LA Fitness, but today we are at Base Fitness in Tacoma, which I haven't filmed with you guys here before, but it's a really great gym. We're gonna be hitting some deadlifts. We've got a 5 sets of 5 at 360, so again, not super crazy on the weight, but keeping the rest times pretty short and working on really good positions. So last week deadlifts felt good but very challenging. Hoping that they move a little bit better this week now that we're kind of getting back into training. Gonna follow it up with more deadlifts. We have paused deadlifts after that. Some good mornings, weighted planks, some forearm stuff, and then conditioning at the end. I realized last week that my conditioning right now is shit, so we're gonna see how that goes. I could not finish the conditioning on this day last week. We're gonna give it all we got today, but that is definitely something that I'm noticing is lacking, probably largely in part, you know, obviously because I haven't been training, but even before that, training for the Arnold, really the focus was just on getting stronger. It was a very heavy show. We knew it wasn't going to be really like conditioning focused for me because the weights were just so heavy. We were really just focusing on getting strong. So I used to consider myself a pretty well conditioned athlete, and right now that's really fallen behind. So something that we're definitely going to put a lot of effort into in general, a lot of effort into today. But we're going to get started on some warm-ups for deadlifts. I'm not going to film my warm-ups today just because it's pretty busy in here. There's not really good places to put my camera out on like the main floor. But for warm-ups, I'm going to hit some running man, straight arm pull downs, some single leg squat, and some side planks just to get moving. We'll feel out if anything else needs a little bit extra warming up after I do all of that. But then I will see you back here for some deadlifts. All right, so that was my last warm-up set here. We did a single at 315. Now we're gonna go into our working weight, which is 360 for 5 sets of 5. So we'll probably check in with you guys for the first set and last set and hope that they look similar. All right, set 1 done. That actually felt pretty good. I was a little bit worried that my SI joint would be a little bit cranky. I sat in a chair for 5 hours getting my hair braided this morning, so my hips were a little bit stiff, but good warm-up helped. As I was warming up, I felt a little bit precarious about feeling that on the heavier pulls, but being really intentional about staying in my legs, and these are feeling actually very quad and glute-y, which I'm happy with. Not a whole lot of lower back and not a whole lot of SI joint crankiness. Actually less on that than I was feeling in my warm-ups. So that's a good sign. We've got 4 more sets there. We're trying to keep the rest times to 3 to 4 minutes. Also want to keep the movement quality high though. So gonna watch the videos in between, pay attention to how they're moving. But I'll see you back here for the last set. so deadlifts felt really good today. I feel like they're all moving really well, really good positions. I did catch myself because they were feeling good, getting a little bit lazy about the setup on some of those. So that's just a note to myself, a reminder that just because it's moving well isn't an excuse to get sloppy. So I had to mentally check in with myself on that. But overall, they're feeling really good. I feel like I'm staying in my legs really well. My back doesn't hurt, which is huge. And they feel very glute-y. So I can tell my legs are working very hard, but this feels almost entirely glutes today, which I'm not mad about. But I'm going to take a little bit of a break because I am tired and out of shape. And then we will regroup back here for pause deadlifts. We have, I think, 3 sets of 5 at 280 on that today.
Door, yes. You know, the more you say doors, the less it will be.
Was it like, what's that, Miss Gilbert?
Doors, doors, doors!
All right, so that was set 1, and I was wrong. It's actually 4 sets of 3, not a 5x5, thank God, so that's a lot easier. So that's first set. I felt really good. Had to be really intentional in the pause because my SI is feeling a little bit right now. Not a whole lot, not really any more than it always does, but it just means that I have to be more mindful about my positions and staying loaded through my legs instead of my back. So, but that's all good. That was the first set. 3 more sets. I'll see you back here for the last one. Last set, best set.
Oh yeah. I don't think I've ever done that before. Okay, 225. Okay, chill out. It's fine. Is it cool being the strongest one in the gym right now?
All right, so that's a wrap on deadlifts today, and those actually felt really good. That was a pretty significant amount of volume for me without my back really hurting, so that's really nice. My hips feel a little bit tight, but they did when I came in, I think just from sitting so long this morning. I don't feel any worse than I started, which is a huge win. Again, the weight's not like super crazy heavy. I mean, heaviest weight today was 360. That's not too bad, but I'm really, really happy with the positions, how they're moving, the muscles that I'm feeling while I pull. I think it's just a really good start. I'm really looking forward to seeing how these progress over the next couple months. Hopefully I can hold up with the volume as the weight starts to get heavier, but overall, super happy with that. So going to move on to some accessories. We have good mornings first. Last week I just did them normal, or SSB, but like just a standing good morning. I'm gonna go to pins today to see if I get a little bit more glute hamstring activation out of that. I typically do when it's to pins versus just like freestanding. So I'll go set that up. I'll probably check in for one of those sets so you can see what we're doing. But yeah, I'll see you over there. All right, so I did a couple warm-up sets here. They're actually feeling pretty good. I don't want to go crazy with the weight because I don't want to just like coast through the movement. I want to be really intentional about what I'm trying to accomplish out of the exercise. So like I said, I'm going to pins today instead of just freestanding. When it's freestanding, it's a lot more like low back heavy and then like glute hamstring like secondary. Going to pins, I get a lot more glute out of it. I think just because I'm allowed to be really intentional about that direction change. The dead stop at the bottom lets me really focus in on initiating the movement with the correct muscles. So I really like going from pins. I also just personal opinion, feel like it carries over really well to strongman because most of the things that we hinge for are going to be picking something up off the ground from a dead stop. So I personally just think it's really good carryover. Obviously both good exercises. If I was trying to target my low back more, my erectors more, I would probably go freestanding, but I talked to Loz about what we kind of wanted to get out of this exercise. We were trying to get a little bit more glute and hamstrings than I was getting last week. So I decided to try from pins. And it is feeling a lot more glute-y. Honestly, everything today is feeling really, really glute heavy. My glutes are really active today, which is awesome. I'm not complaining about that. But I'm just feeling mostly glutes, secondary hamstrings, and the low back is kind of tertiary to those two things. Obviously, it has to work, but it's not the primary thing, which is what we're looking for. So that's awesome. So we're gonna do 3 sets here. I'll show you guys the first set, and then we'll move on. All right, so finished up with the good mornings. We had some classified grip work and then some weighted planks, which I didn't film because that's boring to watch. Ending with what's supposed to be 10 calorie sprints on the bike with a minute break in between. I did not make it last week. I only got about halfway and then died. Hopefully this week we can make it a little bit further. I don't know if I'm optimistic about getting through all 10, but we're going to do our best. So I don't know if I'm going to have it in me to talk afterwards. So just in case, I might see you next time. If I have it in me to check in at the end, I will. But I am going to go die. Wish me luck. I did all 10. Fuck you. Bye.